So if you've been on a search for a single family home with no HOA, meaning no rules, no restrictions, no fees, then you're gonna wanna consider this part of Palm Beach Gardens. This entire community here, it's not a named subdivision, it's not an HOA, there's no rules or gates or any of that stuff, but this is centrally located in Palm Beach Gardens. So you're just south of PGA Boulevard and you're right in between I-95 and the Turnpike. So it's very easy access. It's great for commuting on and off the Turnpike, but this spot here within the Palm Beach Gardens area is extra special, and here's why. We're at one of my featured listings. It's 4137 Rogers, and what's really special about here is that it's just a very quiet, family-friendly neighborhood, and it borders a canal. So what's nice about that, and we'll walk this way, is that you get extra privacy from other neighbors behind you. It's kind of like having a buffer where you get a little bit of noise cancellation, less nosy neighbors, and you kind of get a nice view too. This property happens to be on a corner lot, and when you get a corner lot, oftentimes it's an oversized lot because you get two side yards essentially, right? This is on the eastern side of the property, and then you have the southern side of the property too, also on a dead end. So when you're thinking of purchasing property in a certain neighborhood, a lot of people love living on cul-de-sacs or dead-end streets. Especially if you have a family or have little kids or even pets, it's nice to know that there's not a very busy street, there's not a lot of traffic, not a lot of cars driving through. So if your kids are on the bike or they're riding their scooters, the likelihood of them getting hit by a car or that any incidents happening are fairly low, right? Because there's no through traffic coming here. You know, some people actually come out here, they'll fish a little bit, right? It's not something that you're gonna go swimming in, you're not gonna go paddling, there's no boats or anything, but it is kind of nice because it buffers across the other side of the community and it's quiet. There is this little bridge here too. So if you have a friend or a family member on the other side of the canal, like how cool is this? I mean, just being a kid and being able to cross the other side of the neighborhood on this little bridge here, it's pretty kind of neat. You could throw a fishing pole over and just, I don't know, just fish for fun. It would definitely be catch and release. You're not gonna want to eat anything that comes out of here. So these single family homes in this price point, you're kind of looking anywhere from the high 300,000s to upwards of 650. And it really depends on the home itself. In these types of neighborhoods, you know, you got a mix of demographics. You have some older people, some, you know, empty nesters or retirees. You also have some young families or first-time home buyers. There's also a lot of investors who love purchasing properties in here because there's no HOA. So when you don't have an HOA, there's no restrictions on how often you can lease the property, if you have to own it for a period of time before you can lease it, or if you can only do an annual rental versus a short term. So this property here, my listing, happens to be an Airbnb rental that the investor has used for many years and has made some really good money renting it, in fact. He purchased this right before COVID, so we got a great deal on it, and he's been cash flow positive for the last 3 years on there. He fully renovated it, it's fully furnished. So this property happens to be being sold as turnkey. So literally you could just move in with a toothbrush, and we'll go take a look at that in a little bit. But it's just another reason why a lot of people are drawn to this type of neighborhood, because single family, a lot of them are one-story homes, so there's not a lot of stairs. You're not gonna see these grandiose homes. It's very much like a blue-collar kind of neighborhood, very middle-class kind of neighborhood, working-class families, and everyone kind of looks out for each other. There's a neighborhood watch in the area, so if there's anything suspicious going on, people are kind of keeping an eye out for people, because remember, there's no gates, right? So some people like to be able to come and go as they please and not have to feel like they have to type in a passcode or register a guest at the manned gate. So you get a lot of freedom and flexibility living in a neighborhood like this. So as you walk through a neighborhood like this, some of the things that you'll notice is, because there's no HOA again, you'll see boats parked in the side yard, right? I mean, we're in Florida and there's a lot of boaters here. So that is one of the huge draws that people have to finding a community like this, because they have a boat. They don't want to have to put it in a marina and spend all that money, because that's tens of thousands of dollars a year to store a boat at a marina, right? So being able to park it in your side yard, in your driveway, or in your backyard is super valuable for a lot of people. You'll also notice these are older Florida-style bungalow homes. They were built in the 70s, 80s. They're small, usually around 1,500 square feet or so. They're mostly built concrete block, which is really interesting because a lot of older homes are wood frame construction, which causes some issues, with termites or hurricane protection. But these are mostly concrete block homes built in this neighborhood, which is really cool. You'll also notice a lot of homes don't have garages. You'll see they have driveways or they might have a carport, but most of these homes don't have garages unless they added on after the fact or closed in the carport. And you'll see a diverse kind of homes. You'll see some homes that are a bit older and have not been renovated. And then you'll see homes like this property here where you can see it's a little bit more modern, fresh coat of paint, nicely landscaped. And the inside of it is really where the value is. So over years, you'll see people renovating and putting money into their homes to really bring it up to what today's trends are and doing the basic things like new flooring, new kitchens, new bathrooms, all the things that bring a lot of equity and value into a property. So let's go take a quick look at this property here so you can see what $650,000 can get you in Palm Beach Gardens. First of all, can we give this a slow clap for the modern design and decor? I mean, the owners completely nailed it with their renovation. This is as turnkey as it gets. So this would be a perfect example of a renovated home. It's modern. They took into consideration some of the trending aspects, right? So you have quartz countertops, white cabinets, black hardware, these driftwood style floors that run throughout the entire home. All the bathrooms have been renovated and it's just fresh and clean and crisp and white and beautiful. The roof is also new, which is a huge benefit to purchasing a home in Florida. You want to make sure the roof's in good shape. What I love most about this space is that you have two living areas. So for example, this would probably be your main, living or family room here. You have your TV. It's great for entertaining. You're cooking in the kitchen. You have line of sight if you have a family. Long ago, not the current owner, but previous owner enclosed what was likely a screen-in patio, right? So this was probably just an exterior space, which they added on square footage. So they got an extra probably 500 square feet. So they were able to use the space as a dining room, as a game room, just a bonus space. They also converted this into extra storage and a laundry room, which is pretty rare. You'll see a lot of neighborhoods, homes in here where they're in a carport or inside of a garage, you'll see laundry. So to have laundry, washer, dryer inside of a home, it's actually super rare and valuable. So let's go take a look at the 3 bedrooms and the 2 bathrooms that have been fully renovated in this home.
Check it out.
Maybe what's most unique about this property, because I mentioned this happens to be a corner lot, so it's oversized, is that it has a huge backyard. And not only does it have a huge backyard, it has an amazing pool. So let's come take a look at that. Okay, so huge backyard. So you have an in-ground pool, of course, but in addition to having the pool, you have so much grass space. So if you have kids or pets that you want that extra grass space to kick a ball around or throw a toy for your dog to play fetch, look at this, it's huge. And not only that, they fully fenced it in with this white vinyl fence. And even more private because there's a canal on the backside, there's no neighbors. So it's pretty quiet back here and it just allows you to make this entire property your own retreat, your own homestead where no one's really gonna bother you and you get to enjoy living in one of the most sought after communities in all of Florida with a pool. So this one cannot be beat, but this entire neighborhood here is definitely one to consider if you're looking for a primary home, a secondary home, or even an investment property. Thanks for following us today. And listen, even if you're not in the market today to purchase a home in Palm Beach, you're gonna wanna subscribe anyway, because I'm always sharing new communities, new areas to keep an eye on, and some off-market opportunities that might just work for you and your family. Plus, all things Jupiter. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.